You don't become strong by pretending your darkness isn't there. You don't evolve by acting like your past didn't shape you. And you sure as hell don't find peace by burying the parts of yourself you're afraid to look at. Shadow work is the moment you stop running from the truth. It's the moment you turn around and face the parts of you that make you uncomfortable. The anger you suppress, the jealousy you deny, the insecurity you hide behind confidence, the fear you cover with attitude, the wounds you tried to forget but still bleed through your behavior. Most people never do this. They build personalities around avoidance. They call it strength, but it's just camouflage. They call it moving on, but it's just unfinished pain wearing a new outfit. The truth is simple. You cannot master yourself until you confront the version of you you've avoided the longest. Shadow work is the battlefield where your old self dies. It's where you stop blaming others and start exposing your own patterns. It's where you stop lying to yourself about why you react, why you shut down, why you chase, why you numb, why you run. You want inner strength. Go down into the basement of your mind and face what's been waiting for you. There's no enlightenment without confrontation. There's no self-mastery without honesty. There's no becoming a stoic knight without walking into your own darkness and coming back carrying the parts of yourself you used to abandon. This is shadow work, and this is where real strength begins. Shadow work begins with the confrontation you've avoided for years, looking directly at the parts of yourself you trained your mind to hide. Not the polished version, not the "I'm fine" mask, not the fake confidence that keeps people from seeing you bleed. The real you, the you beneath the layers, beneath the performance, beneath the survival habits you built just to make it through certain chapters of your life. Everyone wants strength, but almost no one wants to face the truth that's blocking it. You cannot rise above a pattern you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot outgrow a wound you refuse to name. You cannot master a trigger you keep blaming on everyone else. Shadow work forces you into the mirror with no escape route. The anger you pretend isn't there. The jealousy you disguise as not bothered. The insecurity you bury under bravado, the fear you mask with overconfidence, the abandonment wound you cover by acting detached, the shame you drown by staying busy, loud, or numb. Your shadow is made of every emotion you rejected instead of processed, every part of you decided was too much, too dark, or too weak, every piece you were taught to suppress instead of understand. But what you bury doesn't die. It multiplies. What you avoid gains influence. What you suppress eventually becomes the force that controls your reactions, your choices, your relationships, your patterns. Shadow work is the moment you stop letting the hidden parts of you run your life. It's where you drag the truth into the light and finally take back authority over the emotions that have been driving you unconsciously. And if you're in this phase, confronting old patterns, exposing buried wounds, trying to understand why you became who you became, remember to download the audiobook of Surviving the Toxic Bond. It breaks down the emotional mechanics behind triggers, reactions, and unprocessed pain in a way that helps you understand your shadow instead of running from it. If you prefer reading while you listen, the ebook pairs with it cleanly. Download link is in my bio. Shadow work isn't comfortable. It's not meant to be. Real confrontation feels like internal warfare. Because it is. But this is the only way you stop repeating the cycles, choosing the same patterns, and carrying the same wounds into new chapters. Shadow work strips you bare, so you can rebuild yourself honestly. This is where the real transformation starts, not by becoming someone better, but by finally facing the parts of you abandoned. Shadow work isn't just confronting your darkness, it's weaponizing it. The parts of you that once made you unstable become the very source of your discipline, clarity, and identity, but only after you stop fearing them. Your shadow holds the exact traits you need to become powerful. Your anger is unclaimed strength. Your fear is unclaimed awareness. Your insecurity is unclaimed potential. Your jealousy is unclaimed desire. Your shame is unclaimed truth. Your sadness is unclaimed depth. The problem isn't the emotion, it's the version of you that never learned to use it. When you integrate your shadow, you stop reacting from your wounds and start responding from your wisdom. You stop lashing out and start observing. You stop chasing validation and start building self-respect. You stop collapsing under pressure and start drawing power from it. Shadow work turns your internal chaos into fuel. It turns emotional triggers into information. It turns fear into strategy. It turns insecurity into self-awareness. It turns trauma into pattern recognition. It turns survival instincts into intuition. Most people fear their shadow because it exposes the raw truth of who they are when nobody's watching. But once you integrate it, you become someone who cannot be manipulated because you're no longer hiding anything from yourself. You know your darkness. You've sat with it. You've studied it. You've accepted it. And acceptance kills shame faster than anything else. When someone tries to use your past against you, it fails. When someone tries to trigger you, it doesn't land. When someone tries to destabilize you, you stay centered. Because nothing in the dark controls you anymore. You've brought it into the light. You own it. You command it. And that's what makes you dangerous in the best way. Not reckless, not chaotic, but unshakably self-aware. Shadow integration is the moment you stop pretending to be strong and actually become strong. Not because you have no darkness, but because you mastered it. This is the turning point. Your wounds stop being cages and start becoming weapons forged from truth. This is where the stoic knight is born, from the ashes of the self you outgrew. If this chapter hits you, don't let it end here. If you're serious about rewiring the patterns that built your shadow, then download the audiobook of Surviving the Toxic Bond. It breaks down the emotional mechanics that most people run from. And if you want to study the frameworks while you listen, the ebook sits perfectly beside it. The download link is in my bio. If this message cut through your excuses, then do your part. Like the video, drop a comment, subscribe, and share it so the people who are still stuck in their own darkness can find a way out. Stand firm. Stay disciplined. Stay dangerous. Protect your peace.